Yeah, so guys, and welcome to the first episode of the FIFA Ultimate 20 Trading Guide. And today we are going to be covering BPM, which is a little bit controversial because I'm not a massive fan of this trading method, in fact. It will say that it does work, but I'm not a massive fan. But nonetheless, I'm going to cover it because what I think is quite nice is it's quite a nice introduction into trading because it's not, throwing you straight out there, you go, no, this, and this. It's a very calm, very laid back, very slow paced. I mean, it makes you money, but it's very slow. So what I'm going to be going through is I'm going to be going through how it works. I'm going to be going through like what to sell. I'm going to be, talking about it compared to a few other ones. I guess I'm going to talk about a bit of history of it, which is completely unnecessary, but I thought we'll talk about it nonetheless. And yeah, it should be all good. So again, this is all going to be covering bronze map methods. So if you're not interested in bronze method or you think you're very topped up to bronze map method, feel free to head over to the next episode. As I say, there should be loads and loads of episodes in the Ultimate FIFA 20 Trading Guide because it's really nice prep for me and it's nice prep for you guys to learn how to trade before FIFA 20. So, without further ado, let's get into the history of the bronze pack method. Now, bronze pack method is basically where you open bronze packs. Just give you a short little taster. Now, for me, the first time I ever started doing this is when they had bronzes in Team of Season Most Consistent. Now, they don't do it anymore. But back in the day, you used to have a bronze team for the most consistent, you used to have a silver team, and you used to have a gold team. And it was pretty interesting, Your bronze team would be filled up with probably a lot of the Scandinavian leagues, some of the lower EFL leagues, You just ended up having basically, I think it was like 24 bronze team a season. I say, what you'll do is you'll see loads of images on the screen, kind of showing my points. And that's the first time I was introduced to it, because everyone's really hyped up about packing, trying to pack as many team of seasons as possible. And everyone's kind of just cheating the system because they're just opening 400 coin bronze packs and getting bronze team of seasons. But that's the first time I remember doing the bronze method. These also sold for about, 10 to 20k per, because I say there were a few EFL ones, so a few relatively demanded players. And that's kind of, for me, when I first did the bronze method. So recently it has come into the light a lot more. People would do it during most consistent team of season, but no one really would open bronze packs too much. Because there wasn't, much money to make, because bronzes didn't go for anything. There were no SBCs, there were no nothing back in the day. But recently, of course, this has picked up. You guys, made the bronze method from, I guess, likes of Nick Trinity on the Penfez, because recently they do a little bit in their Road to Glories, which is, brilliant, brilliant teaching you guys how to make money. Even if it's not the fastest way, it's, you guys making money via not having to play the game, which, I don't envy people having to play the game to get money on the FIFA. But yeah, so Nick and Net have recently, I guess, mainstream bronze method, meaning a lot of you guys and a lot of people start doing it. So, let's talk about how you do the bronze method. There's a little bit of the backstory, a little bit of the history. So, bronze pack method is, again, a method fully consisting of you opening bronze packs, which you may be happy to know. Does require a little bit of market knowledge, but we'll get onto that in a sec. The bronze packs you want to be opening are 400 coins bronze packs. You've got the 400 coins ones and you've got the 750. The 400 coins ones have 12 items with 1 rare. And the 750 have, 12 items with 3 rares. So basically you're paying an extra 350 coins for an extra 2 rares. Which when you kind of look at it as in, you're paying double for the pack for 2 more rares. Unless those rares are going to be like a squad fitness or a decent play, it's just not really worth it. You might as well take 2 bronze packs because there's a lot of non-rare stuff that actually, may sell on as such. And yeah, I'll get on to that now. So again, you open up your 400 coin bronze pack and then you dissect it. Dissecting is when you just you pick up the parts that sell, you sell them, and then the rest you keep. What sells? Now, there is a forever growing list on stuff that sells, but I've come up with a list right here, which I think covers quite a lot of stuff. First one is rare bronze players. The reason rare bronze players can sell on, if you guys know the first parts of the Icon SBCs, you need 11 rare bronze players with 75 chemistry. As a result, rare bronzes can go from anywhere from 400 coins to 1k. As a result of these, let's say if they're an English rare left back, they'll be pretty easily sell on because a lot of people use English rare players. So, first thing you look out for is rare players. Of course, rare players are rarer than non-rare players when it comes to bronze players, which, also means there's less on the market. When there's less supply, they're going to fluctuate a little bit more because, there's less supply for the people's demand. So, first one is rare bronze players. Again, you can just use compare price. You can use Footbin if you want, but Footbin doesn't really track silver and bronzes very well. It picks up like 1 or 2 prices every 24 hours, so it's not amazing. Second thing, major league players. We're talking Premier League, Liga, and Couchway, Bundesliga, and the La Liga. Reason these are expensive, especially for the Prem, just a little bit hype around the club, Let's say you get, say Mason Greenwood was a non-rare bronze. There's a lot of hype around Mason Greenwood at the moment, arguably the best player in the world. Haha. But yeah, so Mason Greenwood, his non-rare bronze card might be going for a K, 2K, just due to there being hype around him. And even some of the lower clubs in the lower clubs in the Prem, Wolves and that lot. These guys, people may be using them in SBCs. Maybe there's a advanced SBC that needs like 7 different nations, 1 league. Well, let's say everyone's using the Premier League, and bang, you can go for your bronze player in there. So live in major leagues, Bundesliga, Liga, and Country La Liga, blah blah. The top 5, 6. I think it's actually 5. Then head over to Rare Squad Fitnesses. These are going to be your bread and butter of earning your coins. Rare Squad Fitnesses can be going from anywhere from about 900 coins to even 1k, 1.2, 1.3. They can fluctuate up to like 2k, some madness of times. But yeah, that's another thing you'll look for is Rare Squad Fitnesses, because what you got to understand is these packs are only costing you 400 coins. So if you get a Rare Squad Fitness, you sell it for 800 or 1.2k. That's 2-3 packs that's covering. Let alone you could have maybe an expensive player in that pack. It really is your bread and butter. And I guess that's also why maybe some people would vouch the 750. It's like, well, then you have 3 times the chance of getting a Rare Squad Fitness. But bear in mind it's double the pack. I wouldn't shout it being worth. We next head over to rare good-looking kits. So non-rare kits, these are packed left, right, and centre. Very, very unlikely. Even if there's a really nice kit, if it's non-rare, it's going to be packed loads. It's not going to be, not going to be expensive. Whereas, let's say there's quite a lot of Saudi league teams that have, really nice looking kits. Very plain kits. I don't think they're very heavily done with sponsors. If there's a rare, really good looking kit or badge, badge-wise, you've got the Chilean badge with the dragon on it. And then there's always a few interesting badges. A lot of times with like animals on them, or very simple with like letters on and so on and so on. They'll be worth a little bit of money again, kit-wise, just plain kits. Sometimes you get like a nice gradient kit. Like the kit I'm wearing right now is a bit of a gradient kit, but very unlikely we get Roma being a bronze kit. But there we go. So just good-looking badges and kits. Next one is players used in weekly marquee matchups. As you guys know, this is again a bit of a bread and butter and a returning, I guess, coins that will always be there. Like marquee matchups, bronze players are always eventually going to be worth something for that. So you want to check the current marquee matchups, and you want to check the up-and-coming marquee matchups. So let's say, for example, I don't know, Lincoln are playing the rivals, and everyone's like, Lincoln are going to be in the marquee matchups. Sometimes these players will be worth 1 to 2k just on pre-hype or fake leaks, which is something I fell for this year, but, the joys, hey. But yes, you want to be looking, are they used in this week's marquee matchup, or are they used in, the following week's marquee matchups? And there's a really good site to check this one out. It's called FIFA Analytics. I will drop a link down below. It's what I've been using all this year. Why would I go and do research on marquee matchups when there's generally a site dedicated towards doing it? Thank you very much, FIFA Analytics, for this year helping me out. So, marquee matchups. Next player is cards used in generic SBCs. As I said earlier, the advanced SBCs, the basic SBCs, you've got a few of them. So that's why you just want to check, near enough every player, especially if good leagues, good nations, and so on. They're easy to use from SBCs. Next card is cards used in league SBCs. I think very early on in the game, which, where this video may apply the most. I think you get like the Liga NOS, you get like a MLS, you get like 2 of the minor leagues. As a result, some of these teams don't have enough golds or even enough silvers to build up the whole team. So as a result, bronze is worth something. This game where you're looking for your rare bronzes, I'm pretty sure in the Portuguese league you have rare bronzes worth like 3 to 4k, even relatively late game, just because there aren't enough golds and silver to fulfill the team. Therefore, you have to use non-rare bronzes and rare bronzes again, going from 1 to 4k. So that's obviously quite nice. And as you guys know as well, there's always insane bronzes from the Prem worth like 10k when everyone's doing the league SBC. So that's always there. What's the next thing we got? We got managers. Yes, sometimes managers, there's like a lack of managers from certain nations, or there's really popular nations such as France and Brazil. This year I think Brazilian managers were going for about up to a K for the bronzes, and again French ones I think will go for 2k and over. So nothing you look for is managers from popular nations. The thing with this is you'll get the knack very fast. If you go, let's say you open 10 bronze packs, you get 2 French managers and they go for 200 coins. More likely than not, all French managers are going for 200 coins unless they're from a good league. So you'll catch on to stuff very, very fast. And that's the thing with learning what sells. I said that you don't have to learn the market, but what you do have to learn is you have to learn what's selling or what's selling at that current moment. I'm sure you can ask me, you can ask many of people what is currently selling on. Or you, again, just check players. Very unlikely if you check a player in the morning, and you check them before 6 PM, will their price change? Do we have much more to go? Not really, apart from you can actually get extremely lucky and just list up random bronzes who don't even sell for anything for 200 coins. Reason for this, some coin sites use bronzes to transfer coins, so they'll just go and buy random cards for 200 coins. and then you just get people just buying any sort of players. Maybe if it's a weekly objective and they need to buy a player, so you can just list up bronzes and even non-rare fitnesses for 200 coins, and they'll just spontaneously sell. Nothing as well, actually. Rare healings. These die out very, very fast on the game, you know, as in price-wise. But rare healings is another thing. Another thing as well, rare attributes. That's another one. The ones where it's +3 on everything. Don't quite think they work on the goalkeepers, but I'm very sure the players and yeah, and even maybe the pace ones are all good. So that, I think, is 101 how to dissect the bronze pack. Now, a little bit onto this. Now, I really do not back this method, you know. As much as I've just made a whole video about it, and, you know, I'm going on about everything that sells on and how I used to do in the past, I really don't back this method. And neither really will anyone who understands, I guess, understands trading, you know, because you look at this, and what I would back is, I would back the bronze pack method making you 10 to upwards, say 25k if we're being extremely generous, an hour, okay? Whereas there's other methods that will consistently earn you at least 30 to 50k an hour. And these methods could only take a few hours to learn. But what I think puts a lot of people off learning methods other than BPM is just how daunting the market is. And I fully relate. You know, I'm not here like, well, you know, you're stupid. You know, you can't learn the market. It is daunting. But what you can do is you can break it down into sections. For example, I have no idea how to trade with icons and big cards, but silver cards from the Prem, you know, so I could, you know, tell you everyone's price right here, right now. But that's what you just need to do. You need to just like work out a small market, silver players from the Prem, silver players from the League 1, players who are expensive for League SBCs, and then work on that. For example, again, this year I've just been doing a lot of trading with silvers used for League SBCs. You know, you're only having to learn probably about 20, 30 players per league, which again, you do, you know, you go through a sort of like a list of them 2, 3, 4 times, you just start learning the prices and you get faster and faster and faster, making it more and more effective. So what I would say is I don't back it over trading. You know, a lot of people ask me, yeah, it does work. I will say that. A heavy misconception, I guess, is when people say it's not a very good method, but they're like, yeah, but you know, but basically it does work, but it's not madly effective. As much as, you know, you might see the odd player someone get like a 5k bronze or a 10k bronze, something like that. Very unlikely you're going to be getting that every other pack, because in the end of the day, this is a luck-based trading method. This isn't, you know, with trading, I guess you could say it's luck, you know, when a card's going to come up, but it's you know, there's a little bit more to it. Whereas bronze pack methods, you could sit there all day and not pack, I don't know, a player from a certain club. Whereas another player could pack 5 of them in like 20 packs, you know, because it's, again, in the end of the day, it is fully luck-based. So, you know, luck is determining your profit. So I think that is going to wrap it up with us talking about how I don't think it's going to be overly effective at the beginning. Later in the game, when there's less people opening bronze packs because, you know, people are getting over the welcome back packs, or maybe there's going to be a few more events where bronze is worth a little bit. Heads up, by the way, Halloween at the beginning, when we have the screen promo, they actually include a lot of teams with bronzes and silvers in, which are worth a bit of money. For example, they had Lobos from the Mexican League. They had Plymouth Argyle, they had Lincoln, so they actually use quite a lot of bronze packs. So even stacking up on your bronze and holding on to them as early as Screen, which is what, late October, because of course it's like Halloween and such, could actually be your first big sort of like paycheck for holding on to your bronzes. So that's just a heads up on a very, very early sort of event that can make your bronzes worth a bit. But I think that's about it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Do make sure to drop down below what video you'd like to see next or up and coming, because of course I've got a massive list of things to go through and loads of you know, videos out there that make silver method, trading with icons, trading with the UCLs, you know, doing research into how Team Week 1 done. So if there is anything you guys would like me to prioritise, do make sure to drop them down below. Any questions, drop them down below. More than happy to answer them. The link to the trading guide, which is basically the written up version of this YouTube video and all the other methods, will be down below. And yeah, I'm also doing a little bit of streaming on. I also am streaming on Twitch the research I'm doing this. So if you're interested there, you can drop down, drop any questions you have. I can answer them live, and you can just see how I do the research into how I know who's worth what. So there you go. Not a very short and snappy outro, but thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you guys in another video.